Hey guys, it's me, Verilyn. It is Wednesday at 11:20 p.m. and I just came back from having first originally what was just a meetup coffee with my one of my favorite people, Adoma. She is a Ghanaian American woman that I met maybe a little bit over a year ago at an African ladies convention. We met through our mutual friend Joy, and she has just been such a breath of fresh air since I've met her. I feel like every time I meet up with her, it's like to start talking about our limited beliefs and what we want to do, and we actually start writing like action plans and start getting things done, which is always super productive, right? So originally we just ended up having coffee, and as always we end up talking and we end up having dinner together tonight. So that's why I'm home a little bit late today. I also want to acknowledge the fact that I wear a lot of orange and yellows. I've noticed that, and pink. And I feel like every vlog I've either had orange, yellow, or pink on. It's not intentional. It seems to be what I have in my closet. That said, I want to kind of talk about something that me and Adoma was talking about today, which is, of course, hair. And she expressed to me that she's always rocked her natural hair, and she didn't quite understand what the big deal was when this natural phenomenon has came up. And I've kind of been resisting the urge to want to talk about my hair because I think there's so many bloggers out there that talk about how to wear your hair, what to do, and it's all been super helpful for me, going through what I'm saying is the journey. But at the end of the day, it's just hair, and I've always felt like it's my hair, I could do what I want. But there's a reason why this is my first time rocking my hair natural, right? So we kind of, as a person that she is a person that never really had that issue. Like she talked about, like she's only permed her hair 5 times in her whole life, and so majority of the time she has wore her hair natural, and she's never quite got what this new phenomenon was of natural hair. In fact, she said once this natural hair phenomenon came out, it made her want to go out and perm her hair because she was just like, it's just hair, right? Um, but for someone that's never actually had my hair out, she got me thinking about like why that was and why that is, and I was telling her that I remember distinctly. It must have been like sixth grade. I was definitely in junior high school. I remember sitting in like the cafeteria at MS 321 and coming in for like picture day or something. And remember, it was like the first time I got my hair permed. And the reaction was crazy. Like, it was positive reinforcement. I wouldn't say that anyone, I was very awkward growing up. I don't think that I was definitely not one of those girls that got all the boys. I didn't bring all the boys to the yard at sixth grade. But so and there were definitely girls that got a lot of attention. I was definitely awkward and fat, or considered fat or whatever. Um, and so I remember when I came to school, my hair permed, and getting that reaction of like, "Oh my gosh, Marilyn, so pretty. These, like you look so nice." And it's nothing overt. Like I wasn't like getting swarmed by the boys in my school or anybody for that matter. But it definitely was a positive reinforcement that, oh, with straight hair, I get more positive feedback, right? From then on, I just kind of, I was in love with Brandy. So for me, it was more important to imitate Brandy than to get compliments. So I wore braids a lot. But even up until when was the first time I did a straight weave? Like I was always against straight weaves because um, I don't know. I was more of a braids girl. But I remember the first time I got a straight weave, and the positive reinforcement that brought to me, right? Like to definitely get like 3 times more of the compliments when you have straight hair. It's not even saying that your hair is bad, but it's saying that, oh, this style is good. Um, is always something. And I remember one time in particular, I made a little experiment. I was like, I'm gonna get a straight weave, and again, it was like consistently. Whenever I have straight hair, I get a lot more compliments. But now that I'm in Brooklyn, among like all the bohemian Brooklyn people, I think it's almost the opposite. Well, at least for me, like the people that I notice here, it's usually the girls with the fabulous big curly kinks looking fabulous, and I wonder how much of that has influenced my now comfortability with rocking my hair out natural. Um, you don't think that you're influenced by the stereotypes in the media, and I feel like I'm so, this next plane of like divine, of sense of self. But yeah, I also get brainwashed in a certain extent and have to like kind of fight through that. And even, we had a conversation about the afro, and like right now I have my hair kind of tucked in because I twisted my hair. So this morning I went to the gym, and when I came back, I twisted my hair right away, and but I had to go meet a doma, so I took my hair out of twist, and I text my friend Veronica, and I was like, "How long do you think a twist out will actually work?" And she said, minimum 3 hours, and it was definitely a little bit more than 3 hours, but it still didn't take. So I was in a dilemma. Here I was with this afro, basically, and was I gonna rock the afro out to go meet Adoma? And I don't have a problem with the afro. My only issue with the afro is that it never looks the same when you get home, when you see yourself in the mirror on the train, right? An afro is very, like, at least for my hair texture at this stage, it's very unpredictable. So I can come and I can like rock the afro and I can comb it out and I can shape it, but by the time I get to the train, it's gonna look completely different. And for me personally, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with n- looking unkempt. And we kind of talked about, okay, what does that mean to be unkempt? And for me, it's just a matter of neat versus untidy. You know what I mean? And I feel like I want my hair. So even now, like if I had an afro, my hair would look bigger. So it's not about an aesthetic. It's for me, it's really just about being neat and looking put together, and being able to rely that the hairstyle that I have is going to carry me through the day, right? The same way that I left today is the same way. I mean, it's a little bit, misshapen, a little bit, but it's still, put together. It still looks tidy. And I think that's the more important thing for me with natural hair and being manageable. Um, that said, I know I just did a whole nother vlog about hair. So, but and it's always a pleasure to talk to someone that has a different perspective than me. So talking to her about, I thought we were going to have a conversation about her giving me advice or products. And she was just like, yeah, so about this thing that you're on, what's the big deal? And I guess, and she really got me to think about why it is a big deal for me. I think I've kind of resisted talking about it because I don't want to be just another natural hair blogger, because that's not what I'm about. I'm all about perspectives, right? That's my tagline. So, but at the same time, it's something that I'm going through, and I think that I kind of, as I'm blogging, as a journalist, as a person that blogs about my own experiences, if that's something that I'm thinking about, obviously that's something I'm going to be blogging about. So, what is it about hair, right? What is it, let's not fool ourselves, right? There is something unique about this new revolution of sorts, cult almost, you can say, of black women and their hair right now. We're at a stage where it's cool, you do get the compliments about the natural hair, which is something, honestly, growing up, it just wasn't the case. At least in my experience growing up in the Bronx, right? I'm always very specific to bring it back to what I'm used to. So so I guess that's the question of the day. Do you kind of, is that your experience? Like, is it just me? Because maybe it is just me. You know what I mean? Maybe everywhere else being natural was the thing to be, and I just missed the memo. But I think now, besides just the YouTube phenomenon of all these natural hair bloggers, and I think also it's like the reinforcement from other women, and the advice that we're getting is on a different scale, because again, I never have managed my own hair. I know how to manage a weave. I know how to manage a perm, right? You got your perm every what was it, like every 2 weeks. You got to wash and set every three. Like, we had these routines for perms. I've had the routine for braids. I've had the routine for weaves. I've never had the routine to manage my hair. When it came to my hair, it was all about taking out the braids and then going to get my hair done, taking my braids and going to get my hair done the next day. That was it, right? So, but I think now the fact that I am comfortable, is there something about the world that we live in now that's different? And I guess I'll just put it out to you guys. Like, do you think that there's something specific? Is it just a craze, or is there something specific to the world that we're living in? Why is it that so many more women of color are comfortable wearing their natural hair? Or has that always been the case and I'm just catching on myself? That's my question of the day. Let me know. See how focused this vlog was? Adoma, one meeting with her would do that. That's what's up. We are also about to change the world. We met today and had a really productive meeting about an idea I've been twirling around for a while, and she also has been in this. I don't want to, I don't know, put words in her mouth, but I think she's also been searching for something creative to latch onto and to kind of, like, she has all this great talent that I feel like she's looking for something to kind of channel it through, and we both are passionate about this particular subject, and so it's gonna be great having to work with her on this. I think once I get my thoughts together, I'll share with you guys exactly what I'm trying to do, but it will change the world. That's where we're going with this. All right, guys, have a good night, and let me know what you think. Am I just catching on the natural hair phenomenon? Is this a fad, or is there something specific about the world we live in today that's making it cool almost and more complimentary to wear your natural hair out? Let me know.